it didn't go so well for you.
And what did that fool say? Different mom. Like he did, like he's telling you, and that's when Whitaker had to say, "I think she thinks she's winning."
Oh, I was like, please, when can I come?
You know what? Actually, what's funny is I really felt the vibe that you were ready. Like, okay, if you want to call me, this is what it's going to be. So, on my TikTok, I was telling my people, I don't think y'all gonna see Duke on this stand. It's really because every week it was, we'll get around to it. We'll figure it out. And then that last day, we said she got 3 days. Oh, we don't think we're gonna call him. I said,
I know. I mean, it's so crazy. It was like, what did we have? 2 years they could have called him, and they're just like, nope, we're not going to call him. We're not going to call him. And part of me thinks they wanted to make me be on call, to try and inconvenience me. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, we'll show up. Just, I can't be in 2 places at once. I've got to do other stuff. And so you all saw it with the trial. The inability to plan was intense.
It was crazy. That email, we sat and read each of your emails online.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because when I said, if you want to per my last email someone, I said, if you
the Christmas party that we had. Why is it that when I get on here, what are we talking about? Nothing but Duke. We're talking about Duke and how Ashley Merchant was able to keep him off.
Okay, that might work. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yes, you can. Hey. Let me tell my friend. You see it? I think she still got it muted. Hey, y'all. My friend will figure it out in just a second. Hey, everybody. Yes, baby. I'm trying to get your attention.
I'm glad I wasn't saying anything crazy.
You were muted. I was like, I don't think she know we live. I was like,
I didn't know we were live. Hey, everybody. Thank you, Kay Schmidt. Thank you so much for gifting 5 Millionaire Meal memberships. Hello, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Guys? How is everybody doing? It is almost Thanksgiving. I wasn't feeling it all week, but my family came in here on my lunch break. They got me all excited for Thanksgiving. So how are you guys doing? T, have you cooked? Are you cooking tomorrow?
Well, I got something to start tonight, and then I'm finishing in the morning. But we thought Denver had caught a little bug, so I kind of canceled Thanksgiving a little bit, just because I didn't want everybody here. But he running around his pajamas, girl. He's right. He's good, but I just wanted to make sure. But we got a little tiny baby in the family, and I didn't want anybody to mess around and catch something or what have you. So I'm still cooking because I got to eat. So,
girl, yes. I started, y'all would be so proud. I started yesterday. Okay. I picked my greens yesterday. I made my sauce for my lasagna yesterday. Today, I am going to probably do like my mac and cheese. I am really aiming to have dinner. I'm really aiming for dinner to be about 3. Okay. Normally we're a 7-8 family. with
Oh,
me.
really? Oh no. Mine can't be no later than 2 or 3 because I don't eat nothing all day. I'll be waiting all day. But
We're
see, with
7-8 type of family around here, and it's especially my sister didn't come, so all of the food is on me. It's
you got it.
I was like, why would my mother? I know this is probably a crazy joke, but I was just like, girl, why would you die and leave me? I have to make Thanksgiving. Like my niece is doing a turkey for the
Listen,
first time. That was my
that's a
mama's.
legitimate question because all the malarkey that's been going on, I literally looked to the sky and said, "Sir, why would you leave me here with this?
Girl,
Like, what am I supposed to do? Who said I was equipped to handle this?"
what is this about? Why would you leave me? I started naming off the things that I have to make, and I said, well, damn, it sounds like I'm making the whole dinner. When did this happen? I'm just 38.
Listen, I know it sounds wrong.
age.
I know it sounds wrong, but I said, "Oh my God." I'm actually not mad that everybody can't come over because I don't have to cook that much. But I did tell folks they can stop by and grab a plate, because I was going to cook anyway. So I know my sister-in-law and stuff like that will probably stop by and get a plate. I just didn't want anybody. I just wanted to make sure he was good before I had anybody, around them because they could be having stuff going around in schools now. People be sending their kids to sick anyway, and I'm just like, ugh.
Summer said she's been making the dinner for 10 years, girl, please.
The entire dinner? Go Summer, because I be looking for somebody. It turned into that for me though. Like at first, I only had to worry about me and Big Unc. And one year, I got away with making reservations. After that, he was like,
I just can't believe in them reservations. I can't believe in those.
Yeah, because it was our first year in Arizona. There was nobody here but us. Stuff like that. So it was just him and I. So we didn't do that for nobody else. It was just us. It was before we got married and stuff. So it was like, hey, we can get cute. He liked to go throw them dice. So get cute, go get something. Like we stayed there and stuff like that. But we never did that again.
Mariah has been like on us. She didn't want anything catered. I tried to buy a fried turkey. I was like, I'll just buy one. And she was not hearing it. So this is going to be the first Thanksgiving that my niece and I told y'all she's making the turkey. I'm doing a ham for the first time. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I think it's gonna be good. I'm just gonna follow the recipes and I'll be good.
There you go. Y'all, how have y'all been feeling about? So, friend, I know we've been at work, but we have a lot of stuff going on right now. We got the Kanika Jenkins and her mom that's stirred up and kicked up a bunch of legal dust lately. Now we got the brother of Masika, Kalisha, her husband that recently passed away. His brother then came out and dropped some things saying that he was talking to a lawyer and about to get away from her, but then he passed in the middle of that. We done had all kind of mess going on.
So I have been a little out of the loop for this last week, and I think a lot of it getting ready for Thanksgiving. So I've been out of the loop. I still have day 5 to do of the boyfriend beheaded case. We know she was found guilty. She's going to jail, rightfully so. But I still have to do day 5 of that case. But Ms. J has been telling me about some other cases that we have a lot of stuff coming back up so that we can be back on the same page with cases. Brown Walsh, I just saw today.
Starting Monday.
I just saw that starts on Monday.
Also Monday, they're picking, as long as everything stay on schedule, they should be picking a jury for Timothy Harris. The Ole Miss.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just imagine that it's going to be very different now that there's a body.
There's a body and a change of venue. So yeah.
There's a body, a change of venue. I can only imagine.
And he's been in jail this time. Remember last time he was out on bond. He was on his tippy toes and just walking in. He was cool. This time they didn't let his ass in jail this whole time. You think Brian Washington was a smart move? I want to ask Kayla that. I've been holding that one for Kayla because I got to ask.
You're talking about him going ahead and pleading to the other 2 counts.
The other 2, why?
I think that was strategic.
I think it was strategic. But who you finna blame? Your mama? I'm gonna ask Kayla.
Do you think he maybe? I think he might.
Who else?
He might put it on their mama.
His mama crazy. I think that who else you gonna put it on besides your mama? Because he already gone. He was selling the fake designer paintings, out here like a person in New York with them bags. Just hand them out. Just pass them out. You get one. Just giving them out.
Keisha, me too. I think after T and I were talking about it, I do think he is going to try to put it on his mother.
Yeah. Man, you throw your mama under the boy. Take your phone.
I already played the other counts, right? You can't mention those. That's out the and those are the ones they probably had the most evidence of, right? He was going to be guilty of those. So let's not even waste our time. Let's focus only on this one charge. That there is some reasonable doubt. Someone might believe your mom did this and you were just helping your mom.
And look who the fuck investigated.
And then Laura is right. Laura, they have to prove this murder without a body. But here's my thing. If he admitted to tampering and he got rid of the body, why wouldn't he tell them where it is? Where did he say the body was?
Oh, that body gone.
Remember, so what did he admit to dismembering the body? I didn't know the details. Yeah. He did admit that.
I got the clip of what he admitted to for count 2, which was getting rid of her. Count 2 was basically how he threw police off the trail. Now, as far as getting rid of her, they're insinuating that she was incinerated. Because he led them in every which way, in every which direction, by the time they would have got to said garbage that he is on camera disposing her of, it's gone. It's gone. He literally did it from I believe the 1st through the 8th that he had them spinning their wheels. So for a whole week. So by that time, they just have never found any parts of her. So at this point, the fact that your mama went to that psychic and that psychic told your mama, it's gonna get a little messy. That one. I'm gonna wait for Caleb. That one will get a little messy. The other one, Timothy Harrington, that's going to be a different one because we saw before there was nobody, and that one juror that held it up said they could not, in good conscience, say that this person was gone without the body, and then the body turns up.
I just don't know. I watched a documentary when I started hearing about the case. I forgot. I think I must have seen it on YouTube. And I was like, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. You're not going to make me believe he didn't do anything to that boy. I don't know if those are his pronouns. I'm sorry. That he didn't do anything to
Jay Lee.
Jay Lee.
You're not going to make
me believe that.
Let me tell you something. Speaking of what we can't make you believe, did you see your girl has motioned for a new trial?
So I meant to do a TikTok, and this is why I can't stay in this job. This is why I cannot stay in this job. When I saw that there is a correspondent on Court TV, and I said, "Oh my God, you sound like Melanie up there." She was like, "Baby, you need to just count your losses. You need to go back, regroup, and let this go." And so does the attorney. And here's my thing. There is no way I would have this man represent me again after he said on national TV, and yelling out, vaginal discharge, he wouldn't be representing me anymore. I just wouldn't want him to, because I just felt like it felt like he was overwhelmed. Like nothing about him would make me feel like this is who I'm going with if I were going to do a second trial. Nothing about him.
So wait a minute. Who was yelling vaginal discharge? We talking about?
Wait, you said ask for a new trial? Are you talking about Imani Ellis?
Oh no, baby.
No. Who?
Alicia Andrews.
I'm sorry, y'all. Wrong person.
No, I
did see that.
She's motioning trial.
I did see.
Speaking of folks, we can make you believe.
Oh, I did see she wanted a new trial.
Look at me face.
For the sake of not kicking up
Yeah, shout out to Kat Not Williams. Shout out to Lexi the law nerd. I believe I saw her in the chat. I seen it. I got a notification yesterday.
Wrong case. Wrong case.
Listen, but I got a notification that Kat Not Williams was going over and explaining the motion. So while I was getting a whole lot of things together yesterday, I was sitting and watching. I said, "Wow."
What? I'll have to go back and watch Kat's video.
I want you to.
So tell me what are some of the issues her attorneys brought up during their motion?
It was. Yeah, Imani Ellis was the okay.
Sorry,
so
y'all.
There was a bigger party. Yeah, I forgot she was asking for a new trial too. I did forget. I forgot
the wrong case because this case just I told you I wanted to throw this case away. It caused too much drama, unnecessary drama in my opinion. So I was just like, ugh, I don't even want to talk about this case. But what were the issues that were brought up?
The judge.
Of course.
The judge was one of them. Some of the evidence. Couple. I want you to look at it. I just want you to look at it because
I'm going to be up for a long time tonight, so I'll watch Kat's video tonight. I don't know. I just don't know if I were Alicia, if I would risk it again, because I don't care what anyone says. I believe the jury, just like many viewers, were sympathetic. They feel sorry for her, and I think because of those reasons, that's why she got the manslaughter. The manslaughter. I'm sorry.
Pretty.
But who's to say? Hey, Kaylin, who's to say if she goes to trial again, the jury is going to feel the same way? You could get a Melanie on that stand who does not give a damn about the fact that you're a young mom, who's only going to think about the fact that you assisted in someone's life being taken. You could get me you could get me there. You really could. And she should probably count her life. Like, take the win. Shamina, you clearly weren't in the TikTok streets during this trial. Baby, they were feeling sorry for her, baby.
So I was one of those people that kept saying, like, oh, you think about what I always said. At the end of the day, if you take the feelings out of the facts, it wasn't a good deal. It didn't look good. It didn't look no type of good. However, I will say personally, the verdict didn't make sense for me. And so since the verdict didn't make sense for me, it was like, okay, you can see where the feelings don't fit. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can tell that
the verdict didn't make sense to you.
So for Alicia Andrews, they gave her what was it, the manslaughter? Was that what she got?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was. For me, it just, when I looked at it, it just looked like, so you think that's what happened to that boy was manslaughter? Like, it didn't match for me.
So you think she's just as culpable as the other co-defendants?
I think that, unfortunately, I think it would have came out like that. I feel like if she did not testify,
that's rounded. Let's not
listen. I'm gonna say this. No, because
they said Mel is prosecution friendly on this case.
I don't know if it's prosecution.
Not in the chat. Somebody messaged me and asked me that personally.
This is what I hated about people. I'm not sure what in this case made people feel like I should have had the same opinion that they had regarding the case.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't get that. It's not about prosecution friendly. It's about how the evidence looked to me. You know, the evidence would not have looked the same. It may not have looked the same to you, but it wasn't a prosecution friendly thing. It's just I felt like she was just as responsible as those other young men, and there was no swaying me on that. But that does not mean I'm prosecution friendly. In this case, I guess I was. I thought she was guilty.
Yeah, I think if she would not have testified, if she did not take that stand, she was gone. It didn't sound good and look good. It wasn't good. She was gone. She was gone if she did not take that stand. I think once she took the stand, they were able. I think she made sure she went. I think her testimony made sure she went to jail, but just not for life.
I agree. Because
once she got up on that stand, and once she talked about how that day went, I did absolutely believe that she hopped in the car, young girl, hop in the car. Oh, you going out of town? Me too. I'm available. My boo, let's go. And then when you're young, like I've always said, you end up more with his friends more than he end up with your friends. I get that part. It was just, I think during her testimony that she's still talking to him. I was just like, okay, if this is somebody that you don't want to have ties to, that you're possibly afraid of, possibly has some traumatic experiences with, like the judge broke y'all up. I can't talk to you. My lawyer said I can't. If I talk to you, this ain't good for me or you. Like she had so many ways to get out of it without having to stand on her own too, if she was truly not able to do so with him for whatever reason. You said not this case. That was it. We're not gonna do this case. We were just talking, but
I feel Summer because I
think she helped herself, but she's also sealed a little bit of time for herself. Now, how much time? We will see December 8th. So we will save this for December, okay? We will talk about this in December, but I think she did seal a little bit of time for herself. And I think the judge was very much so agitated by the constant.
Laura, don't say that. Don't say that, Laura.
The judge, what? The judge was agitated.
Laura said, I don't believe the DV. I said, please don't say that, Laura.
Oh, Lord. No, I'm saying that I think that the judge was a little bit agitated. She said so in the beginning. She didn't agree with all the drops of the interviews and stuff like that. But like once you do an interview, you can't control how those folks drop it. And it's Fox. Like, Fox gonna drop. Fox be messy sometimes, okay? So you can't control it. They got bits and pieces. It's something that's trending. It's something that's going on right now. They're gonna keep dropping pieces and pieces. So I'm sure that didn't help the judge being the nicest either, because the judge was very irritated by that. So I'll see what happens. We'll see if the judge feels a way about her still being in contact with him on a constant basis and still kind of being in a relationship. But again, she didn't not say they weren't. She said nobody ever said it was over. So
we'll see how what happens, because I just saw the young man who testified in Queso's trial. Even though he testified and his testimony kind of helped seal the fate of the co-defendants, he still got 25 years.
Right.
So I'm
he's still gonna be amongst the living.
I'm interested to see how I think the judge took into account a lot of different things, and what this judge is what is she going to feel after hearing her testify, after being in trial with her, after hearing the evidence? How is that going to impact the time that she receives?
In Queso daddy walked smooth out that jail.
He sure did.
Oh, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all this offline. I'm gonna say this now. It's so ratchet what I'm gonna do. But we should also, instead of being on just YouTube, we should also make sure we on TikTok too.
I have to sit down and figure that out. I know I can do it through StreamYard. I just hadn't taken that time.
No, I'm saying we just get on TikTok regular on our phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I normally do random lives on there. Sure. I'm normally randomly on there when we're watching cases. I just hadn't watched.
No, I'm talking about now on WTF. We should be on both.
Oh, I got what you're saying. I can't. Kayla, now you don't got
two screens, two phones.
I do. My mind can't keep up with looking at all these multiple chats.
Oh Lord, okay. Oh, looking at the chat. Okay.
I'll be trying to respond, and they'll be saying, "Mel, just hang one up."
No, we got to do both next time.
We'll figure it out.
I will figure out how to do that.
Queso daddy.
Sorry.
First up on the list, what we got?
That was our first up on the list. Y'all didn't have nothing to you didn't have anything that I need to put up for that, did you?
No.
Okay.
No, we
Well,
were just talking until you got on here. That's not nothing from off the list. How's the baby?
Alicia Andrews was on our list.
Was she?
Yes.
Put that on our list.
Oh, maybe she wasn't. Well, I want to go last because mine is a segue. Wait.
Not a segue. I know that's right.
We can go whichever one y'all want to do.
Oh, they want to talk about He Broke My Heart.
He broke my heart.
Broke my
That
heart.
might be another one for December too, y'all. So Latasha
He
Daniels,
broke my heart. I don't know about this stuff. I mean,
who took
You
out
have a
the
baby. You have
pastor.
a baby, so you get a pass.
It's the mistress who took out the pastor. And she drove from Little Rock, Arkansas to Memphis, Tennessee, then drove from Memphis to Collierville, Tennessee, and sat in the house with his wife and had a conversation with him. Collierville, okay. Then she sat with his wife for a minute and talked to her for about 20 minutes. And then he walked in and she tried to have a conversation. Apparently, he had her reading a book called The Ethical Slut so that he could. Can you? Sure. Thank you. Lord. Okay. So apparently she started dating this pastor for 2 years. He was supposed to be doing a counseling session for her as her previous marriage was ending. And in that counseling session, they got to know each other biblically in her office. So they began, I guess he put some app on her phone where the text disappear so that nobody knew they were talking, and set it up so nobody would know that she was on it. And then they started their relationship. Now, according to her, the relationship had rules. The rules was only on the app, never approach him in public, walk past him until he said you can come and talk to him because you never know who he with. What else was it? It was another one. If she was to go on the trips with him when he goes out of town for the church, but she's to pay her own way, and then he got her once she get there. And she was paying for a whole bunch of other stuff. Either way, she goes through this for 2 years while playing tennis weekly with his wife, going out on dinners, and leading a church group within their church in Little Rock. He moves to Memphis to be a pastor at another church. And but he was going back and forth between Little Rock and Memphis. And one day, after a couple of episodes between the two of them, he sends her a message that said, "I think our time has ended," and then it disappeared, and that set her ass off. She said, I mean, she lost it on the stand. This text, every time they talk about that text disappearing, she lost it in that courtroom. So she drove and bought a gun. Then after she bought it, she went home, emptied out her bank account, left the money for her oldest son, and said that she was driving to some park. Now, the park was supposedly called Jackson, was in Jacksonville, Arkansas, because he was from Jacksonville, Tennessee. It was called Johnson Park. Apparently that had to do with her ex-husband. And then it was on Ray Road, with Ray was her daddy middle name. And so the park had significance. She was going to take a gun, take herself out at this park. But on her way to the park, she saw a sign that said "This way to Memphis." And she just took off and drove to Memphis, and drove for 3 hours, came up on him and asked him why he did that to her. And he said, "If you want my wife to know, then go tell my wife." So she went to go talk to the wife and drove by another 45 minutes to their house and sat there, did not say anything to the wife about anything. And then she turns around and waits for him to get home. He walks in. He doesn't acknowledge her. He stops talking to her. Apparently, she said, "Walk me to my car." He said, "Nah, my wife's going to do that." And she said, "Be a man and walk me to my car." He said, "No." And she turned around and said, "You broke my heart." Pow. You broke. And just kept saying it and shot him 5 times and took him out. She shot the wife too. But she got up there on the stand and she told the whole story, and the prosecution kind of made some good points. Like, if you are two married people hiding the shit you're doing, you would use disappearing text. You would have to pay for your own things. He can't have you around him. You wouldn't be able to be seen with him in public. Folks from the church will see y'all. His wife might see y'all. Like, so it was a which one do you believe type situation, and he's the only one that's not here. But he was a mess. He had a whole group chat thinking he had multiple girlfriends going. His wife knew nothing. The girlfriend knew pretty much everything, but she's the one that popped him and took him out, and she said she didn't mean to. After driving 3 hours. So she gets sentenced December 18th. She was found guilty of 2nd degree, I believe it was. So they didn't feel like it was premeditated, but they was asking for manslaughter, and they got the 2nd degree.
And she was very educated. This is what bothered me. And I think you said
she was.
What type of counseling did she give? Was it anger management?
Anger management and domestic violence. Yeah.
A doctorate. Anger management.
Had her own practice.
Her own practice, very just doing well for herself. And this man, she just allowed this man to take everything from her.
I'm sorry. If y'all see me going haywire for a man with braces and a bald spot behind his widow's peak, y'all call
somebody said, yeah, I saw somebody said that he was not attractive at all.
Call somebody. Yes, anger management, and I believe like domestic issues and something else. Like she was very, very educated, and there was a lot of people that were reaching out through the comments and through DMs that were from that church or knew her, and were talking about how anointed she was and how amazing she was with the youth and how amazing she was with women and all kind of stuff. And there's a good group of people that truly believe that was not her, that she just snapped. There's a good group of people that actually believe that. So I mean,
she was in a church and all that, but she was having an affair.
And she was her husband. She went to him. That's what she said. She went to him for counseling.
She was
session.
Wait, no. So that was her husband that she killed?
No, that was somebody else's husband.
Oh, that's what I thought. Right. So she was having an affair.
And she's so anointed. I said, why? And technically, when they started it, they were both married. But apparently, I guess he gave it to her one time and then told her, "Oh no, we can't do this, or we can't do that because you married. We can't do this and that because you married."
That's
and
crazy.
So she went ahead. She was trying to get some clarity as to whether or not she wanted to get a divorce, and then it was like, okay, I'm getting a divorce. Like there was no question anymore after her dealings with Mr. All I know is the jury.
Yeah, I don't want it. Okay. If it's I don't want it, keep it.
Let me tell you something. If I got to study for it, don't hand me no book. If I got to study for it, I'm not going to school. I'm not going back. And why is this the book you handed me? Why is this the book you're handing me and you're a pastor? Why you ain't hand me no Bible?
Hand me Ethical Slut and see what happens. Just hand it to me and see what happens.
Wait a minute. Somebody I know called me and said, it's actually a good book.
I kind of want to see what's in the book, because how do you become an ethical slut? I kind of want to know what he was teaching those women.
When he was teaching those women, they had a whole book or group chat book club on ethical non-monogamy is what he claimed he was practicing, but his wife had no idea. But he had people from the book club thinking, I mean, he was giving them full-on stories saying that the girlfriend had apologized to the wife and they were never even talking. So it was clear that he was lying about things once those videos dropped, but they never got in his phone. The wife never got in his phone. Those videos actually came from one of the people from the group chat, like, his wife knows. They are in basically a throuple, and they are trying to prove something to the police when he passed, and they like, no,
she doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything.
Nothing. She done moved on, changed her name, got a new ring on.
Okay, well, when is that sentencing?
December 18th.
Everybody going to prison in December, huh?
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Lord have mercy. Okay, so what was we about to talk about on our list? We got Brian Walsh, that was on our list.
We can do Brian Walsh. We was talking about that a little bit because I was waiting to. I was like, oh no, I can't talk about it till Kayla get on here because I got some questions.
Okay, go ahead.
So with him, and I sent you a clip of part of what they're. So what he did is when the day they were supposed to start jury selection on November 18th.
So yeah, because you texted me and said that they were going to start, and then I saw that they
Well,
didn't
they did start the jury selection, but he walked in on the day of jury selection and pled guilty to 2 of the 3 counts. So he was being charged. Count 1 was unaliving his wife. Count 2 was like the whole part of him misleading the police, obstructing everything. And then count 3 was him unlawfully moving the body or disposing of the body. He walked in and pled guilty to counts 2 and 3 for obstructing the investigation and for disposing of or moving and dispersing of her body. And I said, but they still picked the jury. Testimony starts Monday, but it's only for the unaliving. Why? What? How'd that work?
I've never.
Because you still got to go in.
I have never.
You still got to go in. I didn't unalive her. So, for those who don't know, Brian Walsh is up there in Massachusetts. He has been getting a lot of attention because he was investigated by the very same crew that investigated Karen Reed. He, in January of 2023, they had a New Year's Eve party, and he claims that after the New Year's Eve party, 1:30 in the morning, his wife gets up and says she has a work emergency, which she did commute from Massachusetts to DC for work. She did have another townhome there. She was a big wig in real estate. And so this job opportunity, that's where she would work at during the week or whenever she had to work. He claims that she said she had some kind of work emergency, 1:30 in the morning, and left the house. And nobody ever seen her from there. There's no evidence of her leaving the house, of her being on the plane, Uber receipt, Lyft, a hotel, nothing of her even getting to the airport, being in the airport, either airport, leaving the airport. So he pretty much leads the police on a wild goose chase from January 1st to January 8th of 2023. They're spinning their wheels. They're doing searches. They're doing press conferences. They're trying to find her, only to later find out that they have him on surveillance cameras, like maybe 16, 17 miles away from their house with a big, heavy garbage bag and throwing that away. I believe he bought about $450 worth of cleaning supplies the day that she supposedly left, along with a hacksaw. There was blood found in his basement. There was infidelity. She was believed to be having and proven allegedly to be having an affair. He had his own stuff going on. He had Fed trouble because he was out here selling counterfeit Warhol paintings like they was bags on the streets of New York. So he had a lot of stuff going on, and he turned out to not be doing so well. She turned out to be the breadwinner, and she possibly had another boo up in DC where she was slanging them houses. Now, I don't know what kind of work emergency requires a real estate person to leave in the middle of the night, but that was the best that he had to give.
Do you have your clip up, or do you want me to put it up? Is it up on your computer?
Oh, no, it's not up, but I think, it might still be up.
Okay.
Be up. What was it at? 2103 something. So when we think, they're getting ready to pick a jury so we can see when we're going to court, they actually did go ahead and pick a jury, but he walked in and said, maybe not. Let's go ahead and let's do this. And he pled guilty to counts 2 and 3, but he still has to go to trial for unaliving her. Yeah,
but I guess the benefit in that, because I always have clients that I'll give you an example. This is not a real example. It's just a fake example because I don't want everybody in uproar. Oh, attorney can't prove it. But anyway, so say someone, this is an example, but it's close to something similar, was charged with rape, aggravated assault, and other charges, and they tell me, well, I did beat her up, but the sex was consensual. And it's like, so they really want to go to trial. They want to go to trial, and it's like, I'll plead to the aggravated assault because I did beat her up, but I'm not pleading to the rape. And I never, sometimes I never knew how that would work, because I never saw that or heard of that. This is my first time seeing someone actually going to trial. I've never heard or seen this before.
Because I was like, they have to tell the whole story. So they're still going to tell the whole story, right? Or can they not?
I was about to get into. There's certain pieces of evidence that won't be able to be used because they won't be relevant. And so it's a strategic move for the defense. Now, I don't know how strategic. I mean, because it's my understanding that, and I don't know how it works with the same indictment, but previous pleas and convictions are able to be presented to the jury as prior related acts.
I think it's on two different indictments.
I don't know, but either way, if I was a juror and they're able to present it as a 404B or a similar act, we know about 404Bs, but in order to present a prior act or prior conviction or prior plea, it has to be something of the same motive or the same nature, or something that I guess is not, and it can't be, but here's the thing, it can't be more prejudicial than it is valuable. So I would like to see, it's extremely prejudicial, but as a juror, I think that if that is allowed to come in, I mean, if you did this, my thinking would be, if you did this, you did that.
Because that's what I was wondering, like, how you gonna sit up here and these people saying you cut her up in that
they must gonna argue 404Bs or argue it's too prejudicial to come in. I don't know.
Let's see. I think this was count 2.
1st of January 8th, 2023. Mr. Walsh did willfully mislead police officers with the intent to impede, obstruct, delay, prevent, and otherwise interfere with the criminal investigation into the disappearance and murder of Anna Walsh. The defendant first misled the Cohasset police in the morning of January 4th, 2023, when after he had reported his wife, Anna Walsh, missing. He stated to a Cohasset police officer that Anna Walsh had left the Walsh residence at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset on the morning of January 1st, 2023, by taking an Uber or Lyft to Logan Airport when returning to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency. The defendant then continued to mislead police officers. When he made additional false statements about Anna Walsh being alive and voluntarily leaving the Walsh residence, as well as when he detailed his whereabouts on January 1st, 2023, the Cohasset police and Massachusetts State police officers. The defendant continued to make false statements when the police officers from these agencies met with him, including on the evening of January 4th, on January 5th, January 7th, and January 8th. In January of 2023, the Cohasset Police Department had approximately 20 full-time police officers, including 2 detectives. The Cohasset Police devoted all available resources in an attempt to find Anna Walsh. They requested assistance from other departments and agencies. And on January 6th, the Chief of the Cohasset Police Department conducted a press conference seeking help in locating Anna Walsh. As a result of the defendant's false and misleading statements, law enforcement agencies and police officers took many actions, which had a heavy financial and emotional cost. These included the Cohasset Fire Department searching a swimming pool at the Walsh residence, teams of police officers from multiple agencies and departments, including a K-9 teams participating in large-scale canvass of the area around the Walsh residence during inclement weather. D.C. Metro Police attempted to locate Anna Walsh in Washington, D.C., and Massachusetts police officers, including Cohasset Police, Massachusetts State Police detectives, and other units from Massachusetts State Police traveled to Washington to search for Anna Walsh in a result of the defendant's false statements. The defendant's conduct was willful. His statements impeded, obstructed, delayed, and otherwise interfered with the criminal investigation, and the delays resulted in the contents of dumpsters in which the defendant had disposed of Anna Walsh's remains being incinerated.
Why don't you pause there? We'll deal with count 1 and count 2, and then we'll.
So Yeah, so that was count 2. So they get into later on, they go through a whole situation because during the colloquy they asked him, was he married? He said yes, and it's just like, how you gonna claim married and you killed her? You just at least admitted to chopping her up. I mean, getting rid of her now. But there were other pieces like there was some sort of private eye that was part of this, where his mama supposedly went to a psychic and the psychic said that Anna was cheating. So she went and got a private investigator and had this person look her up. So they're trying to prove that that's part of the motive, that he was aware. Not only were they having this financial power struggle in the house because she was now the breadwinner and he then got found to be a fake, but then also that she then went and found her another man up in DC. So they're saying that that was part of the issues that they were having. And they go on to say that basically those dumpsters that he was later found to have been on camera at were then, the trash was incinerated by the time they tried to get to it. So they were never able to find her. So he testimony starts Monday. I'll be watching.
I can't wait to see what his defense.
Yeah, I might have to watch that too because that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it gets worse. Like they bring in his Fed charges. There's stuff with his mom. There was stuff like, I believe somebody mentioned it, like her job ended reporting her missing. Otherwise, he probably pretty much would have got away with it. It was his searches. First of all, he did all these searches, how to get rid of a body, how long does it take to smell, all these different things. But they didn't find it.
Don't learn about these searches. Like the searches are crazy.
He thought he was smarter than the average bear because he did them from the son's iPad. So when they looked at his shit, they didn't find it. But when later they went back, they had to keep going back and going back and going back to find stuff. So
but I'm saying almost every case, like I think of, we hear the phone searches and it's always something in there.
Something crazy. So yeah, the Google search list was absolutely the craziest thing. It had to be on like something from World's Dumbest Criminals. But again, they didn't find it.
I wonder if they are going to be able to get that in now.
And then from your son's devices, that's just sick.
So that was a couple of things. The Google search was something that the judge is going to come back on motions for. Also the mom, because they're having an issue because mom is constantly in the courtroom, blowing kisses, waving to him, all kind of stuff. But I think mom is actually going to be on one of the witness lists.
The mom of
but
who?
If his mom.
Oh, okay.
Brian Walsh's mom, but that's also the person that they're claiming went to the psychic. Psychic told her to go get, she did her due diligence, went and got a PI, and she's claiming that she never told her son. They're claiming that they have proof that she told the PI, my son cannot find out about this. So I'm like, are he about to put it on his mom? Or it's getting ready to get messy.
The mother know that she could be sitting in court and any moment they point towards her as the suspect, because baby, I don't want to be blowing kisses and hey baby when I know you're trying to frame me for something you did. No.
It's going to be interesting. Testimony starts Monday. Also a jury selection for justice for Jay Lee against Sheldon Timothy Harrington Jr., or the Ole Miss that ended up in the hung jury, where they didn't have the body of the young lady. I don't want to misgender anybody, but Jay Lee at that time. And then months later, they found the body. So his particular second trial, they start their jury selection on Monday as well. So there's some stuff coming up.
And speaking of that, did y'all see the young, like you just said, young lady, young man, girl Lala, or however you say it? That was so sad. And you see the parents are fighting over how to bury him or her. I don't know how they identify, but
I believe girl Lala identified as pronouns were she, her.
Okay.
And I saw people I think the only thing that bothered me was people like going at the father. Clearly they had whatever relationship they had, but it's his child, right? It's his child and he's grieving. whether he uses the right pronouns or not, he is grieving the loss of a child in a very senseless act.
Yes.
I would see Girl Lala on TikTok, and I think I may have seen this on Facebook, and I said, "What dead? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
So to see it all unfold has been really sad, and just for any members in the LGBTQ plus in the community, just to
Yeah.
stay safe, stay vigilant, because it was very senseless, very senseless.
Well, I will say that when we do talk about things, I know we kind of brought it up with the previous case, but sometimes there are things going on that you can see. And there was some very toxic things going on that were
In the
posted
relationship?
in the relationship. There was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of tussles. And they were absolutely posted. They were absolutely, I'm tired of going through this, stuff like that, like back and forth with the relationship, but kind of vlogging her life. And so when I saw those posts and then saw some of the things, I'm like, sometimes, just because, I have a brother in that community, my stepbrother is, and it's just like, that was one of my biggest fears for him, because he was absolutely so confident in who he was. And that was my fear, that he would meet somebody or fall for somebody who wasn't as confident.
Yeah,
and
because
then
that's always what it is.
and that's the thing with Jay Lee. If that situation is, what those text messages have shown, one person was absolutely like, I know who I am, and I'm not about to do this with you. Come to me when you ready, when you know what you want to do, because I'm already, this is already my life. And he dealt with him anyway, and this person spazzes out because they're not comfortable with what they just did, or don't know how to fathom it. Or in Timothy Harrington's case, from a big church. I think that it's probably one of the saddest things I've seen. But sometimes you just don't know people's personal relationships. Like, I know with my uncle, we called him uncle. I might say girl. I might say auntie, depending on what it was. For him, it was not a misgendered thing. And it was also like, if he met one of my boyfriends, he'd be like, how you doing? My name is Tom. Like, this whole deep voice would come out. I'd be like, what you like, so he did not play. Like, he definitely gonna protect us. But if a bug come in, if we see a spider, he gonna scream higher than all of us. Like, so it's just like, I did see pictures that kind of made me think of that, how my uncle would kind of be a certain way around certain people just because he did. And I saw some where Girl Lala was like in Christmas photos with the dad, and there wasn't all of the hair and the makeup and stuff like that. Now, we don't know if it's just like, it don't matter that to me that much, so I can have a relationship with my dad, or if the dad required that to come around. We don't know. But at any rate, at some point, Girl Lala was okay with that for that relationship. And that's a personal thing. Like, we will never know. But I hate the fact that they're fighting. And I hate the fact that people are taking the situation and trying to make it a martyr situation. Like, that baby is gone for a senseless reason. And it just need to be that this was not done for a martyr situation to make a point about anybody's community for anything. I'm sure that baby would rather be here. That man would rather have his son in a wig than be putting him in a box.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so I just hope they really come to some sort of resolve about it, because they're not going to ever get a chance to grieve until, after all this is over.
Okay. And so now I think we said we were going to talk about the Melly interrogation of the friends interrogation video that came out. Mel, that was you.
What was it? I'm sorry.
the friends
Or the
video.
interrogation video of the friend.
Yes. Let me get this. Let's get this off of my chest. So as I was watching, you guys know that if you on my channel, and Jasmine, don't even put anything in this chat. We were just on to day 10. But watching the trial, there were a few things that Millie's defense tried to do to create reasonable doubt. The first trial. One of the things they tried to do was put Melly in that vehicle that went through the subdivision, you really can't see anyone except the driver. So it was like, dang, he may have been in that car. He may have been in that car. Well, during this interview with this friend, he literally says Millie was not in the car with them. So that's out of the window. He talks about how weird everyone was the next day. I think his interview, he could not have been telling the whole truth, but there definitely were some truths in what he said. And let me tell you guys what's really funny. Over the weekend, I went to a birthday party, and when I got there, guess who was in the party room next door to me? Fredo Bang. Child, my cousin said, I want to ask her for a picture. I said, child, I'm trying to ask him what happened when he picked me up. What clothes did Melly have on when you picked him up? Picture. I need to ask him about this case. I need him to tell me, where did he pick Melly up? And when he picked him up, did this man have blood on his clothes? I've got questions, and I don't think
they called him.
You said wait.
They never called him.
They never called him. I don't know why.
Yeah, they never called him. Why wouldn't that be a person to call?
Neither side.
I guess when 2027.
Yeah.
They didn't call him, but if you have not seen the interview, guys, I think that's cute, girl. I think it was a really great. It was an interview that answered questions if you had any, if you believe this young man, right? But he wasn't called either. And from he started talking about spirits. He started talking about how Sack was, as people have said, Sack was he was a pain in the ass for me. For Bortland, and how he was this he was kind of like Debo, and it almost adds more to the reasoning that he had to be gone, and that, hey Kat, thank you, that he had to be gone, and that a lot of people feel this way. Juvie was he was an innocent bystander. We couldn't get rid of Sack without getting rid of Juvie as well. So if you watch the interview, I thought it was interesting, because the one thing I was one of the people watching the case, like, Millie could have been in that car. That was kind of good. He could have. Every time I was hearing things, but now that's out the window. He also talked about them looking for guns. They went back to the scene, and people said that Track knew what happened. Track was involved. Track helped them cover it up. He says he went back to the scene with Track. Now, Shalon, I'll give you that too. I said there were some truths, and there was some stuff that when he started talking about spirits and ghosts, I was like, he could be high, but there could be some truth in it. I don't think he was in the car. And you think about certain things, I don't think the man was in the car. I just said, oh, that's good for reasonable doubt, right? I thought that was good to bring it up, but I don't think people thought he was in the car. His phone put him at the crime scene, right? But I do think what we say about Woody's interview, there's a little bit of truth, a little bit of lie. I do think there was some truth to some of the stuff he said.
That interview pissed me off.
What pissed you off about the interview?
Because I watched the first trial, and that whole first trial was a bunch of questions. Like, I always ended up with more questions that I had answered. Even if I got answers to some questions, I ended up with more questions afterwards. I didn't know what the hell happened. All I knew was that them boys was gone and this boy drove the car. I had no idea what the heck happened. I couldn't, I understood how they came to a hung jury. Did you
believe that Millie could have at any point gotten out of that car?
I think that he could have. I have my own personal feelings about that case. I have said it, Mel. I just don't think they proved that he was absolutely in it, and they didn't prove that he absolutely wasn't. I don't feel like anybody won. I don't feel like the defense won. I feel like the prosecution didn't meet their burden. I just don't feel like anybody proved any freaking thing in the dang on thing. I don't believe that he wasn't in the car at some point. This is my personal opinion. I just believe that I do believe that boy was torn in 50 different directions. I always say follow the money. Where was the money? Follow the money. And I do believe if you have somebody like Debo, tuck your train. Who coming? Debo. You know what I mean? So I did think that it was very telling that about Melly's money, how he didn't put it in the care of anybody, not his mama, not anybody else that he trusted. He put it in the care of his manager. And, you know, we all too often hear these crazy stories about managers and accountants who rip people off or do things or not on the up and up. They're not quite, they're a little bit shady. So it's just like he had to know, somebody had to tell him, like, I don't know if you want to do, like, what makes you think that your manager is the best person to have the money unless they're cutting allowances, unless you can truly say, hey, I don't have it. I don't have access. I don't have control. And you can't go do nothing to my mama because she ain't got it either.
Well, if you believe that interview, right? If you believe that interview, then this is a manager who was all in. I'm going to go help you cover up the murder of your two friends. If you believe the interview, I'm that invested in you.
Was so high. I don't know what to believe.
When he started, let me tell you, so Shalon, it was so funny when Shalon said, I didn't believe it. I think there were parts that were true, parts that was like, wait, when he started talking about, they were eating, I watched on, I forget the boys' channel that I watched it on, but someone said, no, God really could have done this. God could have, but he said that I think he said God stopped him or turned him around at some point. I think he said he was about to get in the car and then God told him to
the car.
Threw him back to the car. Cuff Boys. Okay, thank you. That's who I watched it on. God threw him back to the car. And people were saying, no, God could have. There were a lot of instances where he talked about spirits and what he was seeing that I can see why people say it was all over. It was. But I do think there were some parts. I don't think and for me, you think about the parts that were true. He was not lying. Millie was not in that car when they went to the subdivision. He was not there. And he just kind of confirmed it. But for some reason, they didn't call him as a witness because maybe, like you guys are saying, it was just too all over.
It was all over the place. And I think that they probably like to keep it somewhere where regular people can hold on to it. And if you start throwing in spirits and this and that, and I got a praying grandmother, people gonna be like, you what? Oh, he had, some people don't know how to deal with certain things like that. Some people don't believe in it. Some people know all about it. Some people will absolutely take that and say, he's right. Yeah. Somebody else be like, he high, so I think that it was a way to like not polarize the jury where they were like on opposite sides and kind of keep them at a happy medium so that they can find a common ground and possibly agree on something. I just don't know what that case is sad all over the place. And I feel like the only person that can tell us what the happened.
He just took a plea.
Took a damn plea and ain't got to say shit.
He didn't have to say anything.
How are you facing 5 lives plus 75 years and you walk out of there and be out before this trial starts?
Because the prosecution is probably saying what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I can't prove it one way or the other. And seeing that interview made me think about the witness who took the stand and said he was in the car with us. Like now the defense, now that this has been released, what's going to happen is the prosecution going to go after this? What's going to happen? But I do think Bortland's plea was just evidence that the state feels that, like you said, it's too
no way. It ain't no way because there's no way you're going to drop all the unalivings and you pulled up. That's why I said if anybody was going to get hit with anything, I thought it was going to be Bortland because he pulled up with the bodies. Mm-hmm. If nobody else can say who was in the car with the bodies, they can say you were, sir. Yeah. So when I found out that he was the one on house arrest, I said, now what is going on? What is going on? That's the crazy.
They don't want him, and I don't think the police ever thought he was the one who masterminded anything for whatever reason. I think once they figured out who he was attached to and who the victims were attached to, like a lot of people said, now we're laser focused on this person. This is who we want. And their investigation has proved as such.
it just makes me I hate it because, you know, I purposely try to stick with the case once it's in the courtroom.
Right.
Because I know me, and I'll get personal and I'll get attached to a piece that never make it as evidence and be sitting up there looking stupid during trial. So I try to stick with what happens in court. But there are rumors that were just like swirling like outside of court with the last one. And I got hemmed up in that long crime chat. You know, I was with the conspiracies.
Hold on, y'all. Be right back.
Okay. So I was like, believe in the conspiracies, and then now everything seemed like it's going up. Man, now everything seemed like it's going towards that conspiracy, and that conspiracy don't got shit to do with this case. It ain't gonna never cover the courtroom, and it's pissing me off because now I really don't know what's going on.
You never know what might pop up in a courtroom.
It got to pop up. We got new. At this point, we've been doing every single motion with a certain defense. So now we've got a different defense team. We got new lawyers. There's new faces.
I mean, you know, a case that I haven't really had my eyes on, but I feel like, okay, I need to see what's going on. Lil Durk's case. I've been seeing Mills updates. I'm not watching the video so much, but I've been seeing it. And I'm like, what? It seems I see people kind of saying, oh, he may get out of this. This might not be what people think is going to be. So I'm really wanting to know what's I gotta look at a start to finish. I'll probably catch up on her videos while I'm in here cooking today.
Yeah, I got last motion. It's the last thing that I watched, but I'm just like, I don't want to hang my hat on it because we never know what can happen in a jury. Okay, because I got a couple gut punches this year. Memphis did gut punch me this year. I will never forget that. I can't even think of the other one, but I know Memphis won.
That's not
but we'll see. I will say that watching some of these nuances, I don't know how to feel about it because we watched a lot of nuances with Glanville, and Glanville ain't bust a grape in the name of Welch's for it. You know what I mean? So it just makes me feel different about Durk's case because I do think Durk's case is it's messy because they didn't do. I don't think they doing everything on the up and up. I think they are causing panic. Can I say that? I think they're causing panic. If I got a jury summons and then I see that y'all want to keep the jury anonymous like they did for John Gotti, oh, he's guilty. Because who's this crazy where you got to hide the jury? I don't like that they didn't give up all the information. I don't like that the judge in them was threatened and they didn't tell nobody. I don't like none of it. They wanted him specifically too badly. Yeah, it's cool, Mel. I don't think they have it's starting to feel like that, but I don't want to get like that because I was like that during the YSL trial. It never happened. Okay. It never happened. They took that one to the wire when there were so many reasons why that should have ended in a mistrial so many times. He won't have a fair trial. We've seen so many unfair trials. That's why I'm so scared of it. But I don't know. I think YSL has scarred me. So when I see something that doesn't seem quite fair, I want to say, hey, that's not fair. But it just like, if it's a Glanville sitting up there, is he going to give a So it's
not say his name. I was having a good day. We don't want to talk about him right now.
Listen, I have to talk
about him and that dog is doing.
Listen, because I was laughing so hard because my friend said something about a Peloton and said something about YSL, and I was laughing so hard because I thought about when Doug Weinstein said he looked on there and Glanville removed him as a friend on the so you don't even want to work out with you, want to kick it with you.
Yeah, because I don't even want to see you on that bike.
He don't want you to burn a calorie with him.
You gotta guess, y'all.
Baby.
Look at 7.
Hi, 7.
Say hi.
Oh.
You don't want to say hi?
Kayla, he's getting big.
He was a chunker when he was born. Oh,
You look at him.
looking just like his dad.
You think so? I think so too, but everybody say he like me.
I see Kayla.
I see you. I see you, but I see his daddy.
I see Daddy.
I
I see Hendrix too.
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh my God, Mr. Baby. I've been having my great nephew over. I've been calling Mel on FaceTime, y'all, making her see the baby.
Right.
But I was scared that Denver was sick, so I didn't want him to bring the baby over. But I'm like, oh no, I need the baby. Oh. Listen,
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. What y'all still talking about the interview?
we're just waiting for you to come back. We're still talking about Melly. What else do we have?
Okay, so I guess now that we got this is a good segue, babies.
Babies.
But it was two things that I wanted to talk about. But one was the Brene and Akira situation. I saw that was going crazy. And
I'm sorry, I have nothing to offer to the conversation.
but no, I mean from a legal perspective, not a moral
I'm talking
perspective.
about for me. I'm like, y'all, I did not keep up with that case.
Oh, okay, yeah. So me either, but
Okay.
I mean, of course, I saw it on TikTok, and I'm like, $1.7 million. I'm like, hold on, Shannon, you need. Oh, let's come to the plan.
Good, we can sue somebody.
Like, we can, hey, hold on.
Well, I'll just say it's 1.7 and counting
But
because
the girl said she's never
now-
gonna get it. As soon as she walked out the courtroom, she said she
I don't
would.
think she's ever gonna pay it. I think she
I
could have
I
done
think
what
she'll
other
get it,
people do
but
without
she'll-
bankruptcy, something like she's not gonna pay it.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna pay it. I think they're gonna have to repossess them long ass titties for her to be able to get something. They're not gonna be able. She's not gonna get
When I went and looked at it and I saw who versus who, I'm very confused at all of it. How did she? What happened?
Well, the other thing is, so apparently she dated this guy first in high school.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and apparently his family did not approve.
Like her, right.
Yeah, so it sounds like she know what to do. Just giving it out. Okay, so when it came time for this man's cousin to be able to get some, they say, I know who would give it to you. And they sent him over to her, but he ended up falling in love and marrying her. But apparently, Devon, is that her original husband, Devon? Apparently, he's filed a suit now too. So he's just gonna follow Akira's blueprint and hit her from the other direction. And I just say, hey, just do everything she did.
Right.
You gonna get some money too.
They're not gonna get nothing though. So I just want to tell you, like initially when I heard about it, I'm like, what? So because I know every state doesn't have these type of laws. So first of all, you got to be in a state that has this law. I don't think Georgia has it because I'm pretty sure we will be hearing about this left and right. I couldn't find anything, but the two the basis for the two counts of oh yeah, I did see that. I see people say Fantasia and Nene had something similar like that. But the basis is criminal conversion and alienation of affection. Those are the two claims. And so it's not like civil. It's not criminal, it's civil. And so if you can prove that your partner actually did have sex with someone, not your partner, y'all, and that's another thing, your husband actually had sex with someone else, and it led to the marriage ending. But there are several elements, and I guess that's the which one is it? Akira? Who is the who? I don't even know.
Akira is the one on the 1.75.
Okay, so Brene's defense is that the marriage was already over. And so you do have to prove that your relationship would have survived, or that you guys were still actively working towards a healthy marriage in order to prevail on these claims. Also, I see that she filed an appeal or motion for a new trial or whatever, basically saying that she didn't have her proper representation, or that her lawyer didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Lawyer.
Herself, did she?
No, yeah, but he was up until like, I guess 3 months before.
Oh,
And so she was saying she didn't have time to prepare because she had a lawyer for so long and he didn't do all this stuff, which made her case fail. So
Stephanie, Tim said Tim is broke. Let me tell you something. Tim got the hips of 90s Kelly Price, and I would never in my life. I don't understand how you will sit up here and let this man cost you 1.75. Let him have, she won't let him, like, let him stay where he at. Why do
you make that much money off TikTok?
I think they said now her money might be affected because you do stuff like this because she did this on TikTok. Like she was posting with one man.
Wait, let me say this. She was the lawyer, but she was saying the lawyer that she hired prior to him coming off the case caused her case to fail. But go ahead.
Yeah, I believe that she was making, I think they said at one point she was making about 11,000-12,000 a month from TikTok. Making it from social media. She had a YouTube page, I believe. They had a TikTok page. They would do things together as couples. And then all of a sudden she was like, guess what, guys? I'm getting a new apartment. And then next thing you know, she was posting with the other man. And it was just like, so she did it all online. Like they could probably literally put up a TikTok timeline of everything that she was doing, because I believe even in the middle of, before even posting him, she was like, guess what, I'm having some problems in my marriage and I'm gonna go stay with my best friends for a while. And so she stayed with Akira and Tim and lived in their house, but was messing with him in the house. Like she's just different. It was just different. The whole thing was different. I just remember her making coffees. Okay. She was making iced coffees for a while and they was cute. She had all that junk on the nails and was making a bunch of coffees. I don't know how it happened or what happened or how, but all I know is lawyer or not, like the evidence is all over the World Wide Web in order, timestamped, dated, and with lots of comments. I don't understand. I remember y'all saying Tim bought a pum to the courthouse and about got hemmed up. I remember I was seeing, y'all know my sister was watching. I seen somebody said Tiffany need to be here for this segment. My sister was watching that mess daily. I don't know. His hips, her chest. It's just a very weird situation. I just don't understand the Tetris of it all. I just don't get it. I don't get it. They were missing deadlines with the lawyer.
We'll definitely see what happens with the appeal or the new trial if it's granted, and what happens. And then the last case I was going to talk about, which is not really a case, just a topic, was Cardi B and her baby, and everybody talking about who is the legal dad and things like that, and what happens if you have a baby by someone while you're still married if the divorce is not finalized. And technically in Georgia, the person you're married to is presumed to be the legal father.
Ohio too.
Texas too. So that was
too.
Yeah, so that was just something that I know a lot of people were asking about, was who was the dad? And it's just like that situation is very interesting because it's like they would have had a divorce if they could reach a settlement, but Offset is asking for like ridiculous amounts of alimony. He's asking for all this kind of stuff. But that's a hard thing. So I just was thinking about that. That was kind of interesting that she had the baby while she was still married.
I was laughing when you sent that because I'm gonna tell on myself, and I already told her I was gonna do this because I've been picking with her for about a year now, or since my sister got her divorce. My mama and daddy are still married. I was born in 85. They got married in 86. My sister was born in 87. We got two different last names because I was born before the marriage. My sister was born after the marriage. They have been legally separated since like 88. Nobody has ever gotten a divorce. Okay. So when my youngest sister, the one who had the 10-day wedding, she's 6 years younger than me. So my parents were good, and my dad was living in a whole nother state. You know, they were nowhere near each other. But when my mom had my baby sister, my dad got hit with child support because it was her. So he was having to pay it. So my dad had to come back to Ohio and take a paternity test to say, I ain't been with that man. I don't know that man like that. Like this, I don't fool with that man like that. And it was just like the state of Ohio did not give a damn. Okay, they put him on her, like put her on his case, and that was just the end of it. And they had to prove it the other way. Like they had to take a paternity test
the other way, right? I know someone who had the baby and, you know, wasn't with the father, similar to that, and the baby had to have her husband's last name, even though the dad was at the hospital.
Yep, my sister has my dad's last name, and then the crazy thing is my sister had children before she had married, and one of her children has my dad's last name. None of these names go on these kids, but it's just that's what, you know, what happened because that's the name, my mom's last name. That was, again, my sister's last name. So then it became her child's last name. And it's like, it has nothing to do with anybody. So when you said that about Cardi, I said, Mommy, Cardi out here following people because people like the elders ain't leading no good example because your ass won't go get the divorce.
I definitely said that. I said, I was seeing some comments similar to what Kayla said. And I said, yeah, they're probably both going to have to take a paternity test to prove that he is the father still, because they are still married.
Yeah.
You're going to have to definitely do it the other way. My daddy had to.
Well, in closing, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us. And Miss Jefferson, go ahead and say your what we're going to do, because you came up with that. That was yours.
Yes, I said that I miss you guys and I miss them. And even though y'all see us pop out, that's like literally when we pop out. Like the baby shower, I ain't seen these people since the baby shower. Okay,
that's not true. I came to Arizona.
Well, I didn't post that.
Oh,
she come to Arizona.
Yeah,
she was on her baby moon. Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Kayla, a different type of person, okay? Because Kayla was hoofing it, Grand Canyoning it, up late, chilling. Like, let me tell y'all something. When I was that pregnant, I was in
the house. In the house.
Kayla, I said, baby, that baby gonna slide out. Because the way Kayla was up moving and grooving. Listen.
Well, he did not slide out.
I seen the video yesterday. I said, baby. I can't even say that because Kayla was like, wait. Because I was like, I bet it was all peaceful and pretty. And then I saw that video last night. I was like, oh, God. But I did say that because we miss you guys, I think that we should be more consistent with WTF Wednesdays because I enjoy the conversations, the topics. But even though it's tea or legal with the tea, we end up doing some real good here. And so I believe that we should be around at least monthly, even though there's might be cases that be starting and stopping and this and the other. We can give a good monthly update. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, first one of 2026, something, and just have a pretty much make sure we see y'all at least once a month to give everything that's going on. And then if we get hit with a case that's really hitting hard, then we'll have to ramp up for that particular case and give our WTF moments as that case is happening, which might happen with Brian Walsh because these people crazy. But I'm just saying, at least I think you guys we should at least commit to do this at least once a month.
Yep.
My thing.
And so that's something that we'll look forward to. Also, we are going to try to do some type of toy drive and try to sponsor 3 families. So what we're going to do is we're going to be making a WTF Instagram page, which will be up tonight. We want you guys to go follow that. And in order to enter to be sponsored by the toy drive, you have to follow all 3 of us on all our platforms and follow the WTF page. And if you are not in need and you want to participate, we will be posting a Amazon and a Target registry so that we can try to sponsor 3 families for Christmas. So stay tuned for that. We'll be posting across all of our socials and try to give back this holiday season. So look out for that. That all should be up and running by tomorrow.
Yay.
Yes. So I really love the idea of us giving back. So our community can give back. I think we're going to give back to some families, kids or seniors, but our communities get to give back. So it's going to be super dope.
And I just want to say, for my baby, you guys really showed out. I didn't have to buy anything, and that was just so nice. So if we can do it for him, we can do it for someone who really, really needs it. And not to say he don't need it, because Lord knows it's expensive, but I'm just saying somebody less fortunate. And I really appreciate it. Everybody coming together from YouTube and helping me get 7 together. That was very kind, but I think we can definitely come together again and do it for people who need us.
Absolutely, because I said the same thing when I was talking about the idea of sponsoring a senior, because they did an Amazon wish list on YouTube. Shout out to y'all, because they got a whole, it's ridiculous out there, but they did one for Dallas's birthday, and I was just like, okay, I got to find a way to just not be the one to benefit from this. I had no idea it was going to be like that. And I love the idea. I'm so thankful y'all did that for my babies. They are absolutely out there playing with it right now. That's what some of that noise and them lights are. But they are like, I love it. I love the idea. And I was like, one of my ideas, I'll just throw it out there. I did say about sponsoring a senior, but the other thing I wanted to do is, especially with all of us having gone to college, I think that it's an amazing thing to possibly sponsor a freshman, like someone that's going into sophomore year. Because after freshman year, some folks don't get parking passes, some folks don't get meal plans, some folks don't get housing. Things happen where they're not guaranteed all those things they get when they walk in. And sometimes that makes or breaks the difference between, I've had a lot of friends that actually left after freshman year to go to different colleges, a community college, or go somewhere closer to home because there was no housing, or they didn't have transportation from the housing that they got, things of that nature. So whatever we decide to do, but toys for the babies, I'm all for everything for the babies. So toys for the babies, WTF as an Instagram page.
Okay, so we will get that up and running. You guys stay tuned, and also on that we'll be posting our next WTF dates and topics. I think that for December, our WTF, we will have something special for you guys concerning our Black women and these childbirth situations and what's going on in these hospitals across the nation. This is something that, if you are tuned in any kind of way, has been going on for quite some time. But over the last couple weeks, we got to see raw, uncut footage of it happening in 4K. So that is something that I hope I could put something together to address. And Hendrix, stop playing with me. Move. And also,
hey, Hendrix girl.
Right, she just had to. She been itching.
That baby, her heels back.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, put something together so we can spread awareness on that. And also during that time, after we finish WTF, me and Shannon, we're gonna watch some clips from my water birth. Because we got it all on camera. So I'm gonna go through and pull some clips.
But I was like, oh Jesus, baby, get the baby out.
And right after that, the baby came. Maybe like 2 to 3 minutes after that.
Right after. Yeah. They said make it go faster. When you do it natural, it goes way, way, way faster.
Yes. We'll see. Okay, well, thank you guys. Thank you, Miss Jefferson. Thank you. And we will be seeing you guys.
Y'all gotta cook. No, it's gonna be an after show. I might be on TikTok.
I'm about to say everybody gotta go cook.
I'm on TikTok. I'm going to TikTok with my talent.
I might go on TikTok because everybody's downstairs, child, but they I'm the only one cooking for real. I gotta go cook.
All right, see y'all later.
Bye.